Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Today, this video is going to be about business names, and it's not to say anything about mine are right and everything I did was right, but I just thought it'd be helpful to create a video just saying things that I used in the process of building up my business and finding the name for it. So I assume that you're starting to think of a business name, but I don't know about you, but it's like one of the hardest things to do because there's literally billions that exist. When you think about it, you're just really unmotivated to the point where it's like, how are you meant to create something that's simple yet so effective? But it's so important at the end of the day because the name is the first thing somebody's going to recognize about your business. It's the first thing people are going to search for. I'd argue one of the most important things, to be honest. So yeah, if you don't know anything about me, you've never seen me before, I'm Jenny. I am a freelance photographer, videographer, and now artist. So photography, videography, I'm just freelance under my own name. And then secondly, for the artist, I have a business called Little Illustrations. So first thing to know is there's so many different types of names, and I think that's a good starting point because if you can figure out what type of name you want, then at least it's like the root of the tree and you can kind of branch off that. So the first one is eponymous, and that is basically giving something your own name. So your business is named after yourself, hence my photography, videography work, I use my own name. It's the type of thing you want to give to blogs and freelance work. You are the person, you are the business. People are investing into you and your work and services. So yeah, if that suits you, then maybe you just want your own name. Next up is acronyms. So these are things like BMW, KFC, just things like that. So they're just letters that stand for something that's longer, but the actual abbreviation is quite catchy, quite memorable. So maybe if you have a longer title in mind, then maybe an acronym's a way to go. The next one is compound. So this is basically just mixing words till you make a new word. A lot of people tend to go for this because at the end of the day, if you use words that already exist, there's a very high chance it already exists as a business. So yeah, a lot of people go with compound because you can literally list loads of words, make something new, something unique. The only downside to this is it might be misspelt, misinterpreted. So yeah, there's pros and cons to that one. Next, I've got descriptive. This is stating what your business actually does in the title, if you want to call it. And I think mine's a descriptive name because Little Illustrations literally says what it does on the tin, as the saying goes. The downside is if it's descriptive, you've got to fit it in as little words as possible because the less words you use, the better, because it's just more memorable rather than memorizing a whole sentence. So yeah, just be careful with that. What we've touched on already, real names, real words, things that are in the dictionary. You can use a combination of them, just a single word. You can also use a play on words. There's many ways to go with it. And then there's all non-English words, so other languages. You can mix and match with English. I'm not very good with foreign languages, so that's why I didn't go down that route. It might also tie into if it's a product you're selling and it's originated from a country. That might be a nice touch to add in. So in terms of how I came about Little Illustrations, I spent days and probably weeks trying to figure out a name because I wanted it to be simple, but also I think I wanted it to be descriptive. And how I went about it was I basically just wrote lists. I don't think I've wrote that many lists in my life before. I found it quite useful going through the alphabet and kind of just listing words that I wanted to describe my business as. So this ties into, you need to know what vision you have for the business, what kind of appearance you want to set. Do you want it cheap and cheerful? Do you want it dark, bold? The kind of mood you get from your brand. I started to do a little flow chart and I basically wrote something that I liked and then followed it with what else it links to and just see if something came out of that. I basically went through each style of name and kind of tried to figure something out, see if something just sparked an idea, which is a lot harder than you think. I think there's actually sites that literally say randomized business name along those lines. If you have a Google, you'll find it. They were kind of helpful, kind of typed in keywords, which is another thing, and then it kind of just randomized a bunch of words. You know, sometimes things come from the randomest of things. I also turned to logos, but I was like visualizing, what do I want my logo to look like? I just wanted my logo to be a simple, what do I like? And because it's an illustration business, what do I like to draw? And I've always liked mountains. I always think they're beautiful, stunning, even for photos. And then I was thinking, okay, why don't I juxtapose that with something? So opposite of that is little. And I thought it was quite nice to have a juxtaposing image with name. I don't know, maybe people don't always think that, but I was like, why don't I just describe what I'm on about? So that just came with little illustrations. Another tip is, will it expand? What products do you want to sell? What more services you can put? Because this might also tie back to your name. You want to future-proof it. At the same time, it's not to say that businesses don't change their name. It's not to say they don't rebrand. It's just a lot of hard work and a lot of hard effort. But I like illustrations because, yeah, it's specific, but I think a lot of things can fall under it at the same time. So I feel like I have room to change my products, services, things like that. So in a way, I feel like it's future-proof, but at the same time, I don't know. Hopefully I don't have to change it. I don't have to rebrand, but who knows? The next few things are very important. The next thing I did was check with Company House, and you can search existing company names. This also goes for domains. You think in the future you might want a website or you want to buy your domain straight away, double check that it's available. And then that leads on to social media handles. This is where I kind of struggled a bit. It was available on Facebook, but on Instagram, @LittleIllustrations was taken. So then it comes to things like you might have to put something at the end. I chose UK because we're based in the UK. You might have to kind of have a bit of give with that because social media handles have just got even harder to get. That also reminds me, when I was researching names, I'd scroll through Instagram, I'd type in illustrations, see what already exists, see what kind of style people have. I definitely 100% recommend doing that. So yeah, that pretty much summarizes everything I did, and it's not to say everything I did was right. I just thought it'd be a good idea to just share what I did because it is a hard thing to do. Get creative and start making your name, and then you can start selling your products, selling your services, whatever your business is. And just let me know if you've got any questions regarding this. I'll link all of my social medias down below if you want to check them out. Feel free. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you're new, and I will see you next time. Bye.